This is a time when you're going to have unexpected shocks, unexpected shifts, So really, you want to just minimize that by not making any big decisions in relationships, in purchases, in investments. This is a time to really stay deeply connected to what feels comfortable, what is bringing you security, and what brings you pleasure. Taurus also rules pleasure. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast, where practical spirituality meets real life. Hi, I'm your host, She Tells Story. I'm a psychic medium, grief support counselor, professional astrologer, and a human design reader, and of course, a law of attraction master coach. With my unique blend of spiritual and practical tools, I am here to help you align with your soul-led purpose and ignite a life that sets your soul on fire. In this podcast, we are going to explore the principles of energy, astrology, spirituality, and psychology to help you heal your grief and create an aligned life and business from the inside out. Whether you are looking to deepen your intuition, understand your cosmic design, or transform your business, this podcast is for you. Join me each week for insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories that will guide you on your journey to living your very best life. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at She Tells Story or wherever you listen to this podcast. Let's dive in and start this transformative journey together. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast. Welcome to the Astro forecast for the week of June 30th to July 6th. We are now moving into the 7th month of the year. What is happening? We are moving into a time now. So in the astrology for 2025, not 2026 yet, 2025, we have the beginning half of the year was sort of this dip into new energy. The outer planets moved into new energy, new signs. And now, as we transition to the second half of the year, we are going to see those planets dip back into those old signs. So we saw all this new disruptive behavior, energy coming in and reflected in the behavior of what was going on in the world. Now we're going to see a dip back into some of those old energies to see what did we learn, how do we want to move forward now, and sort of a cleaning up of the old so that we can move into the new in 2026 with a different energy than how we moved into the beginning of this year. So this is already evident during this week because we're going to see some things kind of shifting already that are going to have merit for what's to come. So on Monday, June 30th, we start out the week in a first quarter phase of the moon in Virgo. This Virgo moon can be very punishing, very the word is judgy, holding everyone to a high standard, being mean to yourself. But Virgo also gets things done, right? This moon in Virgo is very much about service and being action-oriented, organized, disciplined, getting things done and moved out of your to-do list. So that Virgo can be helpful to get things done and see the path forward, but it can also be very punishing and mean to yourself and other people in your world for them not holding up their side of the perceived bargain, or they're, not living up to a standard that you've created for yourself. Ask me how I know. I'm a Virgo. And I don't have a Virgo moon, though. My Sag moon gives me lightheartedness, but I have a child that has a Virgo moon, and they are very hard on themselves. And that was not learned behavior. That was from the womb, I'm telling you. So that Virgo moon can be very potent. So on Monday, June 30th, we have Mercury entering retroshade. So it's not an actual, thing that's happening on Monday, but it is sort of the energy is starting to. Why I highlight this is because I want you to pay attention to this, okay? So it's entering retroshade at 8 degrees of Leo, meaning that Mercury will go retrograde in July over the degrees that it's about to transition through. No, the word is move through from June 30th to July 18th. So from June 30th, whatever you're thinking about, dreaming about, writing about, talking about, that Mercury is the mind, right? Whatever we're communicating with, our closest relationships, community, our actually our forward momentum in the world, how we move, in terms of where we want to move in the world. Not a form in terms of movement itself is Mars. So this is more so what we're thinking about and where we want to go with the mind. And so whatever you're thinking about during June 30th to July 18th, this is a time that is going to change. It's going to shift. There's going to be a revision made that's going to bring clarity and grow with reflection. So it's not going to come right away. There's a mental awareness, a pre planning period, deeper insight. So pay attention. You know what? Pay attention. This is very meta, but pay attention to your attention. Pay attention to what you're thinking about, what you're dreaming about. And then notice then, as then we go into on July 18th, we will have a Mercury retrograde at 15 degrees of Leo, and that will continue on to August 11th. So from July 18th to August 11th, you are going to go over these same degrees from June 30th to July 18th with new eyes. Things are going to fall apart. You're going to have miscommunication. Things are going to delete. There's going to be just even the way that you're received, your voice, right? Leo is about your voice, your special talent and gift. It's about love, creativity, self expression in the world. What is your special talent that you are adding to the collective to elevate the world? Aquarius. Leo and Aquarius are in opposition to each other. They're opposite signs, but it helps you to understand its placement because we need both, right? So this Leo-ness is about your gifts and talents, your mission to shine your light. How are you going to do that? What's your voice in the world? What are you creating that has not been before, that's coming from you, from your soul? And Leo, rules the heart. So this is about heart energy. Where are you not living in alignment with your heart? That's going to come up. What are you not speaking from your heart that needs to be spoken out into the world? This is that energy. So pay attention now, right? What's happening between June 30th and July 18th, because there's going to be a revision. You're going to get some new insight. Something's going to come about that's going to, again, break it, shake it, change it, move it apart. The review, reassess, realign part is coming July 18th to August 11th. And then post shade is August 11th to August 25th. That's when you get the nuggets of wisdom. You are putting it into action. You rewrite the chapters. You have a different conversation. You change the way you're going to be moving something out into the world, or you get a big aha download about your mission, your voice into the world. So pay attention, and that's how you use that cycle for your own elevation. Evolution is the word I was looking for, and awareness, right? This is how we use these cycles of astrology to help us move forward. Then the next major aspect for the week is Friday, July 4th, and we have three aspects happening on that day. So the first one in chronological order is Venus conjunct Uranus. Venus is the planet of what we love and value, beauty, aesthetics, money. And Uranus is a planet of change, chaos, and elevation of concepts. It's a higher octave of Mercury, so it's genius energy. And when they come together to sit on the same degree, number one, they're coming to sit on the same degree of 29 degrees of Taurus. And if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that a 29 degree is called an anaretic or critical degree in astrology. And it means that this is a very potent asking, did you learn the lesson of Taurus? So it's going to express in the ways of um, scarcity of resources, right? Feeling like maybe you've spent too much money, or there is really kind of bringing up about your values. Venus rules values. And in Taurus is very much about what we value: money, beauty, aesthetics, environment, resources, the earth, the economy, bankruptcies. That's all very Taurian. So Venus and Uranus coming together, this is going to be a very disruptive time for the stock market. It's not a great time to be moving investments. It's not a time for you to be risky with your investments, to make big purchases now. Not a good time. Not only is Mercury retroshade, technically not retrograde, so not a good time in terms of information. There'll be lots of lessons being learned here over the next few days, next few weeks. So kind of not a great time to buy something big if you can help it. Also, with this energy of Venus and Uranus, this is a time when you're going to have unexpected shocks. unexpected shifts, you know. So really, you want to just minimize that by not making any big decisions in relationships, in purchases, in investments. This is a time to really stay deeply connected to what feels comfortable, what is bringing you security, and what brings you pleasure. Taurus also rules pleasure. So expect unexpected shifts in relationships, finances, and desires. So really, the more you can shore up safety during this time, the better you'll go. You may feel called to break free from routines or suddenly awaken to a new sense of self worth. A destined meeting or realization could land today. So, this is going to be a really important time to listen to the nudge. Don't cling to anything that's crumbling. This is a liberation in the disguise of chaos. So, this could be a relationship not falling apart today. Somebody serves you papers today, and it's not just today. It's astrology isn't like the energies boom today. It's going to be in effect for the whole week. This Venus is coming to sit with Uranus and come close to this degree. And really, I mean, it's going to shift out into Gemini like in an hour, if not like a little, very soon, because the next aspect is Venus in Gemini. But it is still a shakeup in relationships, in what we value, in money, beauty, aesthetics. So, really just paying attention to what's shaking up. Know that it doesn't really create your worth, it doesn't shift anything big about you. You get to decide. And you might even have a big inner change about your worth, about, you know what, I'm tired of living according to everybody else's judgments. I'm going to step up and I'm going to be in my highest light, and I'm going to do the things that I know are on my heart to do. And if someone judges me, then they can judge me. But I'm not going to die thinking I'm so grateful I lived according to everyone else's judgment. This is a chance to stand up now for that. Also, then on this day, just a few hours later, we have Venus entering Gemini, and it'll be in Gemini until the 30th. So, Gemini is an energy of lightness. It is curiosity. It's flirty. Venus is what we love and value: beauty, aesthetics, money, and relationships. So when Venus is in Gemini, we are very interested to spend our money on little things that aren't really, really moving the needle forward, right? This is like buying little jewels and little knickknacks and little things around the house and just paying attention to what you want to spend your money on, because it's not always going to further your cause, right? It's not really, it might be a momentary, hit on the serotonin, and then it will not really support your long term vision. So pay attention to that and be, again, because of that Uranian, that's the word I'm looking for, Uranian influence. We do not want to make any big choices or decisions right now. So, when Venus shifts into curious, chatty Gemini, the vibe lightens. This is a flirty time, intellectual connection, playful. You want to meet people. I hate the word networking, and networking just feels very like it's a purpose to sell you something, network marketing. It's like, who do you know, what can I sell you? And I hate that term. I want to be more divine feminine, which is about attraction, magnetism. How can I help you? How can I serve? What are some things information wise that I can support you with, that I could help you ease your journey in some way? That's the new networking. I hate the word networking. If you want me to not come to something, call it networking. I will say no, because you know what? Why don't we just know each other? I'm going to ask you, what's your story, and how did you get there, and what's the grief that's holding you back from moving forward? You know what? I'm not really interested in you booking anything with me unless you're my ideal and right client, and you'll know that before I even tell you. So let your intuition lead the way. You know what I mean? So, as Venus moves into Gemini, this is a great time to converse, to have conversations, to go for brunch, to get together with people, to gather your friends together, to just go do fun things. You'll be drawn to people and opportunities that stimulate your mind. Great time if you are an entrepreneur, for marketing, for social media, revamping your brand's voice, aesthetic. Wonderful time for that. This is a connection time. All right. Also on this day, we have Neptune moving retrograde in Aries, meaning that it's starting to slow down. It's already slowing down relative to the Earth, slower than the Earth's orbit around the sun. So it's going to mathematically go negative, meaning it's slowing down, it's losing energy in its orbit. Um, Energy being momentum. So Neptune begins now to have an inward journey. Whenever something goes retrograde, a planet goes retrograde, it means its influence, which in Neptune is spirituality, connection to the divine, empathy. We just, one love. That's Neptune. And Neptune is now going to go on an inward journey as opposed to being out into the world. An inward journey is now about, in bold, independent Aries. This is a time when you're questioning your spiritual path. You create your creative projects, your deeper why. Illusions around your identity and leadership will start to dissolve now. So, I think what we're going to see when we think about this in mundane astrology, which is like astrology of the politics of what's happening, the geopolitical, spectrum of the world, is this is going to dissolve away anything that's been protecting people who have been doing nefarious things. And we're seeing that with what's happening in Gaza. We are seeing what's happening in the US. There's a lot of, under the guise of, battling forces, and really what's happening is like land grabs and ethnic cleansing, and this is happening all around the world. I'm just saying these are two places, but it's under this veiled guise of wanting to battle, these bad forces, but really what's happening underneath is something else. So Neptune retrograde is removing illusions. This is going to be very interesting, my friends. And Neptune is going to retrograde until December 10th. So it's a very long period of time. It's a very slow moving planet, and it's been on the same degree now for a little while. So it's a very slow moving planet, and it is quite subtle, but it's going to start to pick up momentum, and it's going to move back into Pisces on October 22nd. So it moved into Aries on March 30th. So that was a time when it went from 29 degrees of Pisces to 0 degrees of Aries. Okay. Now we're going to have that same energy happen on October 22nd, but retrograde. So whatever was happening during March 30th at that time is now going to come up to be seen in a new way on October 22nd. So, this is another chance now to look at this cycle and see what was happening in your life on March 30th. What was being dug up? Because Aries energy is about being a spiritual leader, right? Neptune in Aries, being a spiritual leader, going forth with your spiritual path, living what's in your spirit out into the world, being unapologetic with your gifts, right? Claiming your gifts and being a pioneer in your own spiritual way. And maybe that's sharing with people around you, but it's with empathy, compassion, and love. Neptune, this is the highest love. It's a higher octave of Venus. So when we then look at Pisces, Pisces is about spirit in connection to the divine, intuition, transcendence, healing. So as Neptune moves back into Pisces, we're now going to heal what's keeping you stuck from claiming your spiritual path. So brilliant, right? Nothing happens by chance. Everything is divinely guided, and it is brilliant, really brilliant, more than you could ever know. So when we think we're smarter than the universe and trying to control things, I always kind of laugh because I'm like, oh, so you thought you were going to outsmart the universe? You thought you knew better? And then the universe handed you this other thing that, and this moment feels like it absolutely sucks. But when you move forward, you're going to see the brilliance of it. And you can only see it in your path forward, right? Or by working with someone who can illuminate that for you. So during this time, now we will go back over these degrees once again when Neptune goes back into Aries on January 26th. So there is a link between March 30th of this year, now October 22nd coming up, and then January 26th with regards to Neptune. So pay attention to those dates and you can start to see a theme. This is how we use astrology for prediction, because this energy is affecting your life in a very unique way that's different than mine, right? We have different charts, we have different energy signatures. This is the energy of this planet as it relates to us, right? The butterfly effect. Everything has effect on each other in this universe. We are all energy. So pay attention to these dates because then as I was kind of writing this out as well, now Neptune going back into Aries, and will stay in Aries now for a little while, will not dip back into Pisces next year. So this is, again, this sort of, we had the Aries energy at the beginning of the year, and now we're going to go back into Pisces and had this energy for a few years yet. So this is going to be, recognizable energy that we have had before, so that we don't feel so destabilized, but it's going to give us an opportunity to learn some lessons, go back and tie off finished things. This is wonderful. This is the way we clean up our past. And if you can use it as such, and if you decide not to, then you decide not to, and you then have to clean up the mess down the road. So do it now while you can. And then the last two aspects happen on Sunday, July 6th. Now they're both Venus aspects, because Saturn and Neptune are kind of traveling together in this moment. So whatever happens to one happens to the other. So Venus is sextile to Saturn first in the day. And a sextile is a wonderful experience, right? It's Venus, what we love and value, coming together with Saturn. It's about responsibility, duty, structure in the way that you want to move forward. So now with this Gemini Venus forms a supportive aspect to Saturn, bringing stabilizing energy to relationships, contracts, and commitments. This is where you start integrating the changes from earlier in the week. It's a great day to commit to a project, clarify relationship boundaries, or solidify your values in business. Use your voice with intention. What do you have to say and agree to now that sticks? So what do you want to commit to? This Saturn is really great for commitments, for responsibility, and Venus it's in alignment with your values. This is great energy, and you're going to bring this into next week. So if you want to go back to the gym, this might be a really good energy to go back to the gym. And then I'm saying that for me because I do need to go back to them. And then also on Sunday, we have Venus sextile to Neptune, now retrograde. So Venus sextile to Neptune retrograde, this brings a touch of divine romance and inspiration. Creativity flows, conversations can feel dreamy, intuitive, spiritual. This is wonderful for brunch, y'all. Wonderful for brunch. If you may feel more compassionate, intuitive, and artistically inspired. This is really great for art. If you are an artist, pick up your brush, pick up your tools, if you will, and go and create today. You're going to be so excited with what's going to come forward from your soul. A beautiful day for rituals, journaling, and co-creating with the universe. So, this is going to be kind of a really interesting week, of combined energies of cosmic pivots, shaking out what's no longer serving. That Venus and Uranus on Friday is going to make for some, I'm going to say, turbulence in the regards to the things that you value. So pay attention to what's trying to shake out of your life, what's trying to heal and move out, because what's coming is so much better than what has been. Wishing you a wonderful week ahead, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Story of Spirit podcast. I hope you have found inspiration, support, and practical insights to help you align with your soul-led purpose and live a life that sets your soul on fire. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Your support helps us to reach more listeners and continues to provide valuable content. I sincerely appreciate every share, and I know it is how most people find me. It is because caring people like you have shared me with them at the right and perfect time. For more resources, insights, and to connect with our community, please visit us at www.shetellstory.com and follow us on Instagram at shetellstory. Remember, your journey to a more aligned and vibrant life is just the beginning, and I am here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, stay aligned, stay inspired, and keep shining your beautiful light. This is Shetell Story, signing off from the Story of Spirit podcast. Here's the legal ease that's required by our lawyers. This podcast and the YouTube channel represents the opinions of She Tells Story and her guests to the show. The content should not be taken as medical, psychological, or financial advice. This series is informational and entertainment purposes only. Because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional, your mental health dream team, your financial advisor, or anyone else that's an expert in the field in where you are thinking of making big choices in your life.